Hello. Good to see everyone. Warmest greetings and salutations, says Angelia. Hi. Welcome. Hello. Hi. Now we're live everywhere and hoping that everybody is having a good Wednesday so far. It is over here, a kind of a cloudy, overcast day. There was an enormous, I'm so sad I didn't see it. There was an enormous rainbow over Mount Shasta the other day, and I didn't see it, but it like was the kind of rainbow that you could see where it ended. It actually ended like in the middle of the street. It was so clear. My timeline is full of photos of it. I was, of course, working inside, so I didn't see it, but um, I'm excited that it happened. This is the season where we have good morning, Paris. Good morning, Mary Beth. Good morning, Willow. Hello. This is the season now and fall, but more now, where we have a lot of lenticular clouds here in Siskiyou County, and they are enormous. There was an enormous one that hovered right to the side of the mountain for like over an hour one day. I saw a video of that one. It was incredible. So we're having amazing weather phenomena. Good morning, Adriana. Good to see you. Hi, Marvel. Hi, Violet. Welcome, everybody. It feels like spring is finally springing. Like we had the equinox, and I didn't really, it was kind of like, nope, nope, not yet. But now it feels like spring has sprung. And oh, good. Yeah, Marvell says it's a bright, beautiful morning down in the canyon where she lives, which is kind of more southerly in California. Well, let's dive into practice. We've got our prayers here, and we're going to see what. Oh, by the way, I didn't need to look it up. I remembered who the Tara was of yesterday. Her name is Maja Chenmo. It was like the middle of the night when I remembered. I was like laying there, sort of like sleepless in Dunsmuir. And then all of a sudden I was like, Maja Chenmo, that's her name. So it took me a minute, but the peacock transmuter of poison, Maja Chenmo. Okay, so today, coming into the now, I am here to manifest the wisdom that rests within. I am here to radiate my loving compassion into the world. I am here to gather the skill and the power to bless and empower all. I am here to manifest the wisdom that rests within. I am here to radiate my loving compassion into the world. I am here to gather the skill and the power to bless and empower all. The fundamental nature of my mind is pure. Within me is an inexhaustible source of love, wisdom, and power. The purpose of all spiritual practice is to reveal and make contact with this. When ignorance is removed, unlimited wisdom, compassion, and power arise. It is the mind's conditioning that limits understanding of who I am and what I can become. I will cleanse my mind of faults and develop beneficial qualities. This removes obstacles to my path and creates beneficial conditions. Recognizing the interconnectedness of all, I will strive to be my best, to manifest my enlightened potential, ever dedicated to benefiting all beings. I will think, speak, and act as Tara. And today, Tara is the remover of sorrow. Praise her, the one on whom the celestial rulers rely. The shining ones and spirits make offerings to her. Joyously protecting, she is radiant with light, dispelling quarrels and nightmares. She ends all war. I saw something in the news that said that Russia declared that the war was over, that phase one of the war was over, as if declaring phase one of the war over would somehow magically make them in charge of things. Like I could see the optics of it, that if they felt that they could declare, if Putin felt like he could declare that war is over, then that makes it seem like he is the one who has the power to say so. But of course, the occupation continues and the fighting continues and the failure to dominate Ukraine and its indomitable spirit continues. So it would be really great if we actually had an end to the war, if we could actually perceive, see, sense, feel, and witness the actual end of this conflict, which to me would be represented by all troops withdrawing universally from Ukraine. Further, I think there's an energy that is really revealing itself through this conflict, which is that there is a weakness in the seemingly ironclad rule of dominator culture. We are witnessing dominator culture actually confronting people's real beliefs and real lives and not being successful in dominating them. I think this is a very significant moment, even though it comes at a tremendous, tremendous cost. It would be good for everyone on earth to witness this failure of dominator culture. Arguably, for those of us in the Western world, the failure of the ultimate in dominator culture, because there are many of us who remember how totalitarian our fear of the Cold War was. So, may it be so. May this Tara, number 19, bring this war to an end, but also end dominator culture. And through doing so, remove sorrow and lift the hearts of many, even as there will be much to repair. Oh, today, a devotee offering the gift of song. Your skills are the gifts you can share with others. We had this card earlier this week about the devotee. Good morning, Christy. There's our little devotee singing on the mountain with a lute. Good morning, Cherie. And so let's see let's revisit. I opened right to it. What does Laura Shanti have to say about her painting of the devotee? Like the origin of a great river, a spiritual practice springs up and flows out of us to create a fertile life. To work in the spirit of puja with the deities and demons of the ethereal world, there are always offerings given at the start of the practice to help initiate that flow. They can be in physical forms, such as food and wine, soft fabrics, beautiful things like pearls and jewels, or they can be intentional through music and prayer. Fierce deities like offerings of a fierce nature, meat, alcohol, and fire. Benevolent deities love the sweet and beautiful. In Buddhist Thangka art, offerings are painted below deities to express respect for the principle that you have to give and empty yourself in order to be able to receive. If you make a space inside yourself, the light will flood in. In this card, a practitioner sits at the edge of a lake of tears that the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara shed when he perceived the suffering of the world. The devotee sits at the guru's feet, playing the guitar and offering music. Offerings are consciousness in action. With them, a practitioner shows the intent to acknowledge the gifts that are being given or requested. To get the attention of a teacher and show that you are serious, it is helpful to give first. Just like in greeting a person you hope to establish a relationship with, if you give even a little thing like saying hello with a smile or bring a present, it opens the other's heart and their love will flow to you. Rather than sit and expect the world to give to us, it's always best to be the giver first. You will get more of a response. I really struggle with being the first person to reach out in a relationship. Like I really struggle with it. I'm not good at it. I'm never going to be the one who says I love you first. I'm not going to be the one who I mean, I shouldn't say never, but like just that I'm not the one who offers first most of the time. And that's because of a long-standing fear of rejection due to being bullied early in my life. And even though now, as an adult, I can intellectually see why I do what I do and what the process is, and even in some cases, I can consciously reroute my mechanism and change it. The truth is there's a lot of our lives that are lived within habitual spheres of activity. We don't really think about what we're doing. It just happens. And so sometimes people will approach me or talk to me, reach out to me, and they're like, well, I thought you were mad at me, or I thought you were disapproving of me. And that's not the case at all. It's typically just that I'm not the one who's reaching out. With divine beings, I feel like it's different. Like when I am doing my offerings at the altar, they're part of the ritual. So I'm habituated to the ritual. It seems like if I want to change this tendency in myself, I would want to view all beings as divine beings, which I do, and have to just consciously remember that, especially when I see something on TV or read something in the news that makes me upset. But remembering that all beings are divine beings, then the offering comes easier. Collapsing the illusory divide between my acting life and my ritual life, my, life of daily activity and my ritual life seems like it could be a good antidote to this issue. Maybe you have your own version of it, whether it's that you're not the one who reaches out or whether you are, or whatever your version is of this. Is there an illusory wall between your day-to-day activities and your ritual activities? And if there is an illusory wall between them, whether that is an illusory wall between what you think of as sacred and profane, or whether it's an illusory wall between sitting in meditation, but then like battling with some kind of addiction, or whether it's an illusory wall between who you think you are when you're in a sacred moment versus who you think you are when you're hanging out with friends. Can you collapse that wall? Can we all collapse that wall today? Just try it today and find the space where our sacred and profane lives are one flowing life, not different. This is Tantra, by the way. True Tantra has nothing to do, like true Tantra, sex is the least part of it, but sex can be approached in a tantric manner. True Tantra collapses the illusory divide. Yeah, Angelia says fear of judgments is sadly universal. And good morning, Gary. Hello. Um, so if we were to collapse the wall between the two things, what then could we make as the offering in our lives, the offering of our lives? So then it's like, well, the offering of me laughing with my friends at the bar, having a couple drinks, or me riding my motorcycle. I don't have a motorcycle. I'm just envisioning that you have a more exciting life than I do. Or, you know, here's me doing my seemingly profane activity. How is that an offering equal to me lighting a candle, lighting a stick of incense, pouring water bowl offerings? How might me reaching out and making myself vulnerable and saying to somebody, hey, I really want to hang out with you, or really would love to see you, or I'm feeling really insecure, but I'm still reaching out because I really miss you. How might that be my offering to the divine being that is that person? Because really, if you think about it, giving something from your place of fear, scarcity, or lack is a very significant offering. It's not really, in all of my years, the thing that I've noticed the most is that people who have more money will often give less than people who don't have very much at all. Isn't that so strange, but true? So often, like the people I know who don't have much money will give you whatever they've got in their pocket. They will like hunt around to find some way to give. Whereas people who have a lot sometimes feel somehow that they need to preserve it. So, how might we give from that place in ourselves that's so tender, that's so vulnerable, that's so scared, that's so steeped in lack or scarcity or fear? And how might that be the reverent offering from that really vulnerable place that ends up opening us up to receiving the oneness light of the other beings around us? Christy and Paris both say they've experienced that too, that the people who are broke are often the most generous. It has been my experience as well. So, we've got our marching orders today to give from the places that we feel scared to give, to open the curtains and reveal. We have in our Delphic dance class in the temple, we're preparing this dance over the next several months that some of us are going to offer when we're in Delphi in the fall. And one of the gestures, we're doing this with a wonderful dance teacher, Sophia Blanton, who teaches Isadora Duncan style dance. And one of our gestures is to awaken, to arise, and sort of find the beauty and the light and to bring it down and then to part the curtains. And I love that gesture, the parting of the curtains. and then to give the offering. How can we embody that today? Part the curtains, give the offering of your vulnerability, and see if you can collapse the illusory boundary between your sacred and your worldly activities so that they're one seamless, flowing life in which you are recognizing the sacred in all beings. That's our short bit for today, if that's what you were here for. And now we're going to do our Guanyin practice. We're going to start with, as usual, 3 prostrations before the shrine. Let's go. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's practice. And today we're just going to hold anyone who needs it. And let's recite the Four Immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. And let's go ahead and make our offerings. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guanxi, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Om Ahum. Omahung, 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 Omahung. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi and Pusa, calling out to the one who witnesses the miraculous transformation possible when we give of ourselves from those vulnerable spaces. Namo Guanxi and Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi and Pusa. Namo Guanxi and Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi and Pusa. Namo Guanxi and Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi and Pusa. Namo Guanxi and Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi and Pusa. Namo Guanxi and Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi and Pusa. Namo Guanxi and Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi and Pusa. 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 And the brief wind horse practice of Tara by Patrul Rinpoche. Lume chuksum chidang jatsunma gyayum pakmadro me jintuyi daki sisu paljornyan draknam yarnu dadang yarji soshindu kepar kaje wangtang lungtan nam nyampa soshing chatu gawa long chije lekpe lamdu drawadang sering nime dadang denjur shi. Through the blessing and power of the unfailing Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and of Jetsunma, mother of the Buddha's noble Tara, may our lifespan, merit, prosperity, and renown increase like a waxing moon, like a rising summer lake. Especially may our good fortune, Wangtong and Windhorse, be healed when they weaken, rejoined when interrupted, raised up when sinking down. May whatever we do turn out well, and may good health, long life, peace, and happiness be ours. Lume chosum chidang jetsunma galyum pakmadrome jintuyi daki sisu pelchornya draknam yarnu dadang yarji soshindu kepar kache wangtang lungta nam nyampa soshing chatu gawalong chije lekpe lamdu drawadang setting nime dadang den shi. 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, sending out the offering of our chants to whoever needs it today, whoever is needing some assistance with their vulnerability. We can make the gift of our practice and our vulnerability something for them, for their vulnerability. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxi and Pusa. We close with a bow to Guanyin, a bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. And wishing everyone a really good day. Open your heart. Start now. Let's be vulnerable and allow. Be back tomorrow.